Two ancient realms, two rulers of the dead. One from the icy north, cold, unfeeling, half alive, half decayed. The other from the warm lands of Greece, shadowed, solemn, and just. Both command legions of the departed. Both dwell beyond the reach of the living. But who truly ruled death, Hel, the daughter of Loki, or Hades, lord of the underworld? Today, we descend into both worlds to uncover their myths, their powers, their differences, and what they reveal about how ancient people understood the mystery of death itself. Our story begins in the frozen north, in the shadow of Yggdrasil, the great world tree. Here beneath its roots lies Niflheim, a realm of frost and mist where the dead dwell in endless cold. This is Hel's domain. Hel, daughter of Loki and the giantess Angerboda, was not born as other gods were. Half her face was living flesh, pale, human, cold, but alive. The other half was darkened, dead, like a corpse. She embodied the boundary between life and death itself. When the gods saw her monstrous appearance, Odin cast her out of Asgard and banished her to the underworld. But in her exile, she was given power, dominion over all those who died not in battle, but in sickness, in age, or in peace. The warriors who fell gloriously went to Valhalla, feasting with Odin until Ragnarok. But the rest, the countless ordinary souls, descended to Hel's realm. Unlike the fiery hell of later Christian myth, Helheim was not a place of punishment. It was cold, quiet, and sorrowful, a mirror of the Norse world's harsh view of life. Death was not evil, it was simply inevitable. Hel ruled her kingdom with a still hand. Her palace was named Eljudnir, sprayed with snowstorms. Her walls were high, her gates massive. The meal at her table was hunger. Her bed was named sickness. Even her servants bore the names of misery and delay. Everything in her world reflected the stillness and shadow of death. Yet there was order in her realm. Hel was not chaos. She was the keeper of the cycle, the one who ensured that those unchosen by Valhalla still had a place to go. And though the gods feared her, they also respected her. For even Odin, the All-Father, could not defy her domain. Now let's cross worlds, from the frozen north to the sunlit shores of Greece. Here, beyond the mortal world, lies another underworld, vast, shadowed, and ruled by one of the eldest Olympians, Hades. Unlike Hel, Hades was not cast out, he was chosen. When the gods defeated the Titans, Zeus took the heavens, Poseidon the sea, and Hades drew the underworld. His kingdom stretched deep beneath the earth, filled with rivers, judges, and endless souls. Hades was not a god of evil. He was stern, just, and unyielding, but not cruel. His realm was divided into parts: the Elysian fields, where heroes and the virtuous rested in eternal peace; the Asphodel meadows, where ordinary souls wandered in quiet neutrality; and Tartarus, where the wicked and the monstrous suffered their punishments. Presiding over all of this was Hades himself, seated upon a throne of obsidian, crowned with shadow, holding a scepter of power. To mortals, his name became synonymous with death. Yet among the gods, he was feared not for malice, but for inevitability. No soul could leave his realm once it entered. Not Orpheus, not Heracles, not even the shades of kings. To the Greeks, Hades represented balance. Death was not chaos or punishment. It was the other half of existence, the end that gave meaning to life. So what separates Hel from Hades? Both ruled over death, yet their worlds reflected their cultures. The Norse lived in a world of cold and hardship. Their underworld mirrored it. Helheim was frozen, distant, and bleak, where death was an extension of the winter that ruled their lives. The Greeks lived beneath the Mediterranean sun. Their underworld was layered, ordered, even moral. Souls were judged, sorted, rewarded, or punished based on their lives. Hel's world was fate. what awaited all who died outside glory. Hades' world was consequence, shaped by the choices of the living. And yet, both were reflections of cosmic law. Neither goddess nor god chose who lived or died. They simply governed what came after. But what of their personalities? Hel, though feared, was not malevolent. In the myth of Baldur's death, Odin sends a messenger to her hall, begging for Baldur's release. Hel agrees, but only if every living thing weeps for him. When one creature refuses, Baldur remains in her realm. Some see cruelty in this, others see justice, a goddess who upholds her rules even against the wishes of the gods. Hades, too, appears stern but fair. He rarely leaves his kingdom, content to rule quietly. Yet in one myth, he takes Persephone, the daughter of Demeter, to be his queen, an act often told as abduction, but also as the balance of life and death. Persephone's return each spring symbolized rebirth, while her descent each autumn marked decay. Hel is stillness. Hades is cycle. Together they embody two sides of the same truth, that death is both an end and a continuation. There's also a deeper connection. Both Hel and Hades are misunderstood. In modern times, their names have become synonymous with evil. Hel takes its name from Hel's realm, but the Christian idea of eternal torment is very different from the Norse vision of quiet death. Likewise, Hades became confused with the Christian devil, though he was never evil, merely inevitable. Over centuries, as religions shifted and merged, these figures of death were twisted by fear. But if we look back at the myths themselves, both Hel and Hades are far more complex, keepers of balance, not chaos. Imagine standing at the edge of both worlds. To your left, the frost-bitten halls of Helheim stretch endlessly into shadow. To your right, the river Styx flows through the gates of Hades' realm, carrying countless souls to their judgment. Two paths, two destinies. But in both, death is not the enemy. It is the gatekeeper. The Norse saw the end as silence. The Greeks saw it as transformation, and perhaps in truth, both were right, because death wears many faces. Sometimes it is a goddess, half living, half dead, ruling over the forgotten. Sometimes it is a god, cloaked in darkness, watching from his throne below the earth. But in every myth, it is the same message, that the end of life is not chaos, but continuation. In the modern world, Hel and Hades have survived in stories, games, and art. But beneath all the fantasy and adaptation, their essence remains untouched. They are reminders of humanity's oldest question: what happens when we die? The Norse answered with frost and shadow. The Greeks answered with judgment and peace. And across both worlds, a truth echoes. Death is not an ending to be feared. It's a return to the order that has always been. So whether you imagine the underworld as a silent hall beneath frozen roots or a vast kingdom beneath the earth, know this: both Hel and Hades still wait at the edge of every life, patient, ancient, and eternal.